Hey everyone, this is Pat, the DM for Grand Quest, otherwise known as Storyweaver. Grand Quest is a darker adventure set in D&D 5e homebrew setting.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I voice Syphina, the grave domain cleric of Tenelith, the goddess of life and death.
Hey everyone, I'm Isaac Martinez, and I voice your favorite four-legged friend, Sif, the man trapped in a wolf's body for a crime he committed.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew. I am the voice of Trevor Corrales, an Oath of Vengeance paladin who is trying to get some answers and discover the truth about his family losing their noble title.
Hello, I'm Wayne. I voice Flores Littlecourt, who happens to be an enforcer for his family's crime syndicate and has been sent by them to expand the family business.
Hey everybody, I'm Mithril. I play Kane, the Dampier Gloomstalker Ranger. He's currently on this quest, trying to become a hero in this land.
Hey everybody, my name's Bridger. I will be playing Oscar, a wild druid with memory loss.
And without further ado, let's get to the story. Okay. Alright, we're back for the Grand Quest. Now on YouTube, for those who have now gotten to this episode. Appreciate all of your views and your likes and subscribes. But where we're going to pick up from the game today is Dandelion, or Dan, the half-furbolg that Sif met, bearing witness to his chicken friend being devoured and ripped apart by our ravenous friend Kane. As Trevor stands in shock and worry about what is about to happen. But I guess we're going to find out as we go into it. You all hear, well, you two, hear a clattering of ceramic, a shattering sound hit the ground behind you, or technically in front of Trevor, as a very large, broad-shouldered man in heavy plate armor, clearly with some features of Furbolg, staring down in shock as his food is on the floor, a sandwich with side of seeds, as he was heading to the stables to sit with his animal friends and feed the chicken. What?
Trevor is he's just gonna sigh and shake his head, and he's gonna look at Kane, who's sitting there eating the chicken, and he's going to turn and he's going to look at this individual, and he's going to go, I am so sorry.
And
he's just,
what's going on here?
He's just, all right. Trevor takes a deep breath, and he just kind of sighs, and he just runs his fingers through his hair, and he shakes his head, and he goes, my friend is not well, and I
don't mean to cut you off,
trying to help him find a cure.
Your friend's not gonna be well if he's gonna eat the chicken raw. That's how you get salmonella.
There is that, but he has some other conditions that I'm bound by oath to try to help him heal from. I was not at all expecting him to attack your chicken, and I am deeply, deeply sorry.
I mean, it's everybody's chicken. I mean, it is my friend. His name was Peckers, but he is an animal, and the animal's death, that was very gruesome, and was not expecting it. Look, I mean...
Neither was I, for what it's worth.
We serve chicken in the mess hall. So, I'm either you remove your friend from the stable, or I will.
I will very happily remove my friend from the stable for you, good sir. Before I do, is there anything else I can do to make this up to you?
Well, that chicken costs about 5 silver. Pay me back for the chicken, I guess.
Um, yeah, I've got more than enough. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. Um, I'm gonna reach into my pocket. I'm gonna take out 5 gold pieces and I'm going to hand it to him. I'm going to say, for the chicken and for your distress. And I'm going to walk over to Kane and I'm going to like grab him by the scruff of the neck and kind of like armbar and like pick him up, like, come on, mate, let's go. And I'm gonna drag him out of the stable.
Still trying to eat the chicken.
He is good.
Yeah.
Dan is gonna pull the chicken from you with a very large hand. As you're getting pulled away, he's just gonna grab the chicken.
And I'm just gonna like tighten my grip and I'm going to say, don't you even fucking think about it, as I'm dragging him away.
Oh, Kane
Yeah, I'm
definitely
talking to
thinks
Kane.
about it. You can kind of see he looks like he wants to bite the shit out of that hand.
As you're being
That's
dragged,
perfectly fine.
as you're being dragged away, Kane, your senses come back to you now that you've fed a little bit, and you see the mangled chicken in a very. He seems to have kept his composure, but he is still very upset about this situation as he walks to one of the braziers that are lit in the stable and sets the chicken gently into the fire and watches it burn.
I do that.
And Trevor's just gonna kind of look back and he's just gonna go, spirits ease your passing, Peckus. And he's gonna keep guiding Kane out of the stables.
Okay, where would you like to take him?
I can walk now.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to where the rest of the party is, because I kind of want everybody else around now.
Oh, I'm gonna try to clean my face.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
How covered in blood is Kane?
Oh, pretty covered. Like, he's gonna need to
So
clean his
fucking
clothes. Like, he's got feathers in places he didn't think feathers could get.
That's concerning. I'm more concerned about getting the blood off of my face. The rest of it, I don't care.
Can I roll like a I guess a performance check or something to kind of help hurry up and clean him up before we go in, or would that be like, what would that be, like an acrobat?
No, I think you could just do it. I don't think a roll is necessary for that. Yeah, you can help him clean up.
Because I was prepared to roll like a sleight of hand or something to help him clean up. Once we're far enough away from the stables, I'm gonna let Kane go, because I don't want everyone to see me dragging Kane back in there. The less people who know about what just happened, the better.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you
go
guys
inside then?
eventually, you guys do make it back inside of the mess hall. Yeah.
Can I do a perception or insight check on the two of them as they walk through the door?
You can do an insight check. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 16.
Yeah. With a 10. Sorry for the audio. There was decided if that got picked up. I'm not 100% sure. Got speed racers outside or something. Anyways, so yeah, even with like a base 10, you're gonna notice all the blood all over his clothing. That's just not something
is
to be
just
getting
going
out.
to.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
kind of whisper under my breath to Trevor, who knew a chicken could hold this much blood?
Oscar is going to
And-
see the blood and sniff the air. He's gonna try to tell if he can tell the scent.
Give me a investigation.
All
Try
right.
it too. Animal senses.
Trevor's just gonna walk over to the
19
table,
roll.
gonna sit down, he's gonna take a piece of food off of Sifina's plate and just eat.
14
He's
on
just
me.
gonna shake his head.
What was that for you, Sif?
My roll was 19.
19. Get a 14. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm gonna say, Sif. Yeah, this is definitely some kind of poultry blood, and Oscar. I'm gonna say, you would know that this is at least animal blood.
Sifrina's gonna look at it, both of them. Like, do I even want to know?
Don't ask. Just don't even ask.
You got hunger? I say over to Kane in a kind of jokingly tone.
Sure.
I kind of pass over or nuzzle over the plate I was eating off of. Take a bite.
Good now.
Make it look a little less weird.
I'm not actually good though, am I, Pat?
I mean, you're sated. You're
Okay.
You're not
You're also
craving
covered in blood.
anything
No.
anymore. That chicken was good enough to keep you alive. I mean, to keep you from going nuts.
Oscar's just like, at least I hope the hunt was good.
Sure.
Trevor's just sitting there staring blankly at the table.
You good? She asked. Sifina asked Trevor.
He's just staring at the table, shaking his head.
I'm just gonna
I'm that kind of day.
take a feather out of my teeth.
So, some sort of bird.
What?
Oscar's just commenting on your kill. He's like, some type of bird.
Yeah.
Those are hard to catch. They fly away really fast, usually.
Either that or a smaller croaker.
Never had one of
Well,
those.
this one didn't fly away fast enough.
Say that again, Trevor.
Trevor just shakes his head and he says, "This one did not fly away fast enough. I can attest to that."
I mean, it didn't fly away at all.
A rather large, half-furbled man. Sif knows this is Dan. Comes and sits down at a distant table, rather depressed.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
he doesn't look
shrink.
I'm just going to stare pointedly at Kane.
I look over at Dan and that's
No, go ahead,
Oh, go ahead.
Sif.
Oh, I was gonna just say, Sif looks over to Dan and back over to Kane and sees that he's not happy and is like, oh.
Like my shoulders are hunched and I am pointedly not looking at this man. Or Trevor, who is pointedly staring at me.
Well,
Trevor's gonna die. He's gonna take another piece of food off of the plate and he's gonna eat it. And he's just gonna look around. And he's like, "I'm just going to," and he just kind of looks around at everyone and he just goes, "Bye," and he just walks out. He's heading back towards the barracks. He's gonna find a bunk to go fall into for a few minutes.
okay.
Oscar is feeding his his scraps to his weasel familiar. Just feeding him little bits in there, kind of like resting off that meal.
Saifina looks at Oscar and she tells him, by the way, you did good back there. I really appreciate your help. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I try to help those in need. I don't really know what I do. I just do it.
Where did you come from, by the way? I don't think you've said.
Don't really know. I just have about a week's memory of walking through the woods.
So you're a week
You
old?
don't remember.
Oh, it was
Well,
about
he's
as
obviously
far.
not a week old.
No, that was like my last memory. Uh, I've been wandering through the wilderness for a couple months. My earliest memory is
But
just
you don't,
walking through the wilderness.
you don't remember where you came from, though? Before the wilderness?
No,
No,
I mean,
why?
Oscar is just a name that just seemed right.
Boris, what did you ask?
I was asking if there was any reason as to why. He knew
Oh,
why he was roaming the woods.
I don't know. I just found myself out there. I was naked at the time. I had to kill a few things to like get their skins and pelts, which I knew how to do. I just don't know how I know how I know it.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Maybe.
Go on, Boris.
Yeah.
Go on, you guys.
Oh, I thought you said Goraz. Oh, so Sif
I
looks
thought
over to
Boris.
him. Oh, Sif looks over to him. Maybe it's something you knew before. Like an instinct.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm able to change into whatever shape I want for the most part. And I can use some form of magic that I'm not familiar with.
DM, would we know
So
what a changeling is?
Changelings are something that is hard to know what that is. I mean, you know what some of you might know what a doppelganger is with a successful history check, but changelings in this world are not something that is
Really heard of or anything?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're kind of like there's something that can just kind of exist within society and do it so well that they are not known as a separate race. So some can be mistook for doppelgangers, the creatures. But yeah, I mean, the one who would probably have the most likelihood of knowing what a changeling is Sif and Gorez, for two different reasons. Changelings do normally live in corrupt society, like corrupt organizations, and survive through doing bad things like serial killing, spying, stuff like that. However, the reason why Sif would is because they are a direct fae.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna ask.
So
could I make a history check on you?
both Gorez and Sif can make history checks.
Oh, a 13.
A 13.
Yes, I'll jump in on this action.
7 for Gorez. So Gorez, no, you've never come across anything like that, or if you have, you've never known or picked up on what they were, what they are. Hell, you've never even heard the name before. However, Sif, the old woman spoke of creatures that were under her control that could do, and that you remember hearing the name Changeling.
With that and without, him giving out a bunch of detail, he's gonna look to him. Oscar, have you ever heard of the term or name changeling? Does that ring a bell?
Oscar will visibly flinch, like, and clutch his head, like as if he's having like some sort of migraine or headache. And then, as quickly as it comes on, he'll look up, eyes clear, like not in pain at all, and just be like, "No, not really."
Sif just looks at him like big-eyed, like shakes his head and goes back to eating the plate that he had kind of nudged over.
Is it possible to do an insight check on Oscar?
Yes, yes, it is. It is possible to do an insight check on Oscar.
Basically,
Though,
because he
how?
looked like he was in pain. That's all I was wondering.
Okay, go for it.
So. That is a 23.
Whatever happened to him has caused some serious mental damage. It is something that his mind rejects at all costs, and it seems to have caused him real physical pain to try to think about that.
Okay, Saifina is just gonna take mental note of that, but she's not gonna push the issue. Saifina wants to look at Goraz, if I can do this, just to look at Goraz and make, hey, are you alright, by the way? Because I know you took a hard hit back there.
Yeah, I'm all right. Hold on.
Saifina just looks at him. But I'm not going to contest it though.
Very well. Okay.
She's tired. She's still very tired.
It's all good. As the food and the eating has come to an end, most of you have finished up now. Rest for some of you sounds really good. Trevor has already left to the barracks. You have all
wants to go.
Yeah. You have all kind of agreed to maybe talk to the vice commander or the acting commander about a potential job to do. And Kane wants to get some information on some other things as well. So I recommend one of you, preferably either Goraz or Kane, go and report that you guys will be meeting with the vice commander tonight.
Yeah, I'll go do that as everyone else, I guess, heads to rest for a little bit.
All right. Yeah, you let some of the guards know inside the office building, the quarters, to let the vice commander know. And they give you they give you assurance that they'll do that as soon as possible. So you seem to know that will be done.
Alright.
Well, Saifina's going to go and be in the barracks now and to get some rest aside. So.
Okay.
Before Sif leaves the room, he's gonna take his plate over to where Dan was.
Okay.
And all that's on it is carrots. He's gonna set it down next to him. You look like shit. I don't like carrots. You want mine?
Thanks. I I lost a friend today. I understand that it is necessary for his life to have ended, but still sucks. So I appreciate that. He'll pick up one of the carrots and start eating it.
What made it necessary for his life to be ended? Who says
Food.
so?
He
Food?
was
Oh.
needed for food. Not the purpose he was raised for, but a purpose life has deemed for him.
Life has a way of fucking us like that sometimes.
Indeed. Well, let's hope life doesn't do that to you or me.
If you ever feel like eating me, let me know. Maybe it'll make you feel better.
I try not to eat meat.
That opened
I
everybody.
was hoping you'd say that.
Tell your hungry friend that it's okay. Peckers knew what he was intended for eventually.
As he sighs or he leaves out, he thinks to himself, "Who the fuck names a chicken?" And then he walks away. I guess to rest.
Okay.
Like, just who the fuck names a chicken in general, or
Yeah.
Well, maybe the chicken named the chicken that.
yeah?
He thought
You ever
this in
think
his
of
head,
that,
okay? Dan would think something like that, exactly.
But yeah, you all return back to the barracks, and you can have your moment of RP here if you'd like to, or we can skip forward to waking up at night, because you are sleeping during the day here, or resting during the day.
Is Trevor still awake?
It's up to Trevor.
Yeah, I'm just kind of laying there staring up at the ceiling, just kind of dissociating from everything.
When Safina comes in, I don't know if the others are behind her or not, but she's gonna sit on the bed that's near Trevor, and she's gonna just ask him, like, what happened?
Trevor's just gonna kind of, he's very still trying to wrap his head around everything that just happened. Kane ate a chicken. It was remarkably unpleasant. He got caught eating the chicken by the large gentleman that you saw walk in visibly distressed. And yeah, it was just an unpleasant situation all around, and I thought for sure that we were all going to fucking die.
Safina's gonna look at him. She's gonna look around at everybody else. See, if there's nobody, if everybody else isn't in there yet, she's gonna lower her voice. She's like, he's, she hesitates.
And he's gonna sit up. He's gonna look at her, and he's gonna put his two index fingers in front of his mouth, kind of like walrus teeth, but not. And he's like, "Oh, you mean he's? Oh, yeah. I figured that out very quickly. Over in Grave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we should inform the others eventually of our group, but I don't think we should do it here or now. And
oh, definitely not here and now, and definitely not without talking to Kane first and making sure he's comfortable with it. But I was trying to kind of help him out before he lunged at the chicken, so that I didn't need to worry about him trying to eat me again. Figured maybe if I can help him deal with all of this before it gets too out of hand, then we won't have anything to worry about in the future. But in retrospect, that was probably a really stupid decision on my part. I tend to make those. You'll get used to it eventually, assuming it doesn't kill me.
I'm beginning to see, yes. Well, I just hope that everything's gonna be okay. We still have work to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
I'm
Anyway,
beginning to regret winning this fucking tournament.
I didn't have much choice in the matter.
Same.
So if everybody else is coming or something like that, I mean, actually, Sifina wants to ask Trevor about Goraz and ask, like, do you think there's anything we should worry about with Goraz? Because, you know, everything else.
Trevor's just gonna kind of shake his head and he goes, honestly, at this point, I have no idea. I think we need to hope for the best, expect the worst, and
Be prepared for anything.
just hope that everything turns out okay. That's about all we can do right now.
I will do my best to keep you guys alive.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, she's gonna get situated on a bed. She is very tired.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, I appreciate your help.
Yeah, Trevor's just gonna kind of look at her and he's gonna go, you did a lot better than most healers I've seen handle a situation like that. You did really good today. You made a difference. Whatever you're feeling right now, however much this day weighs on you, try to keep that in mind, alright? And he's gonna, like, lay back in bed and he's gonna stare up at the ceiling and he's just disconnected again.
Sifina nods and she lays down again too.
Very wonderful RP. DM token to both of you. Would anybody else like to do anything before we hit the long rest button?
I mean, Oscar's just gonna make his nest in the corner of the room again.
Which you have found has been quickly cleaned up. The moment, like, it is, all things you have gathered have been removed from your nest.
He
bud.
scavenges for more, like, sheets and blankets and stuff like that. Takes them off people's beds.
There's a guard that is, like, walking out of one of the bathrooms in the barracks, sees this and goes, fuck me again, and walks out.
Kane's gonna walk in at that point in time, look at the guard, look at...
and shake it at Oscar.
The guard, as you look at the guard, and he's just like turns his head back from saying, like, he goes, well, not touching that with a 16-inch, 16-foot, I don't even, a mile-long stick. What had we brought into our barracks? And he's gonna leave.
Sifina is going to grab her polo and just toss it to Oscar so he can be more comfortable.
Oh, he
What?
grabs it and
What the
nods
fuck?
in appreciation.
You
He'll
know there's a
remember this like a
bed.
crow.
Yes.
Do you not sleep on beds?
I feel more comfortable like this.
I mean,
Honestly, that's valid.
Yeah.
you do you. It is comfortable, somewhat, on a bed. Ground might be more comfortable sometimes, to be honest.
I mean, as and Sif says as he like picks his head up from the floor. It could be worse.
Hey, whatever works for you.
We're gonna hit the fast forward button here. All of you can go ahead and hit that long rest button. Spam it if you'd like to. Feel the glory of a long rest. Most of us in the modern day can't ever get that. That button has been removed from the options table.
It's the true D&D fantasy setting.
That's the only thing that's actually fantasy about D&D is the long rest.
Getting a long rest and all of your wounds healing.
Oh. Emotional
Give
or
him a
physical.
rest.
Alright, so, a knock on the door is heard as a gentleman with very shining full plate armor. Kane and Gorez, you've met this person before on your way out. A DM token to the first person who remembers his name.
Oh
I don't remember his name. That's
Not
not his
everybody
name. I
at
couldn't remember.
Oh, Rin, brother of the vice captain.
No, that's another guy.
Oh, it's the
Mm.
other person you thought you met at when he went to talk to the vice commander for you.
This-
Mm-hmm.
That person.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember his name though.
Well,
Oh, Brunswick. It's not. It's not the guy that gave him the mission, right?
Brunswick.
It is. It's not the quartermaster, right?
No. Brunswick is
Oh.
the smithy.
Oh, well.
Well, you remember the name. Good.
He remembers the name
No,
of the
yeah,
smithy.
I don't have anybody. Yeah, Dandelion and Brunswick. No, I don't have it.
All right. I mean, if nobody remembers it, then we're gonna have to pass up that.
Red Green or something?
No,
I'm gonna
that's
change.
the other guy.
I'm gonna change
Post
his
in the
name.
comments what you think his name was.
Oh yeah. If you know his name, post it in the comments. But we're gonna go through without giving him a name right now, just to punish the players. All right.
Oh, you guys.
So, a rather good-sized gentleman he seems to be in what you would count as an extra large bodybuilder set of full plate, but with long blonde hair. Are all of you awake?
Motherfuckers, Thor. I'm just gonna kind of blink an eye open. I'm awake.
Who's Mikael?
That's the guy that knew Syphina, but Syphina didn't know him. That's the dude with the
Oh,
blindfold and the hat and raise the dead things.
Yeah.
Well, the
That
vice commander is ready to see you. You told some of the office people that you were going to talk to him.
Yes.
Well,
Trevor's
All
gonna
right. Everybody get the
his
fuck up.
feet up and sit up, and he's gonna kind of shake himself awake, and he's gonna be like, "All right, let's go."
Oscar
As Sif
will
wakes up. Go ahead.
stretch out and get up like an animal.
Syphina follows.
go ahead, Sif. What were you gonna say?
As Sif walks out, he kind of looks at the guy. I don't remember your name. Do you mind telling me? Kind of forgetful sometimes.
Oh, well, if I never told you my name, but if you want to know who I am, simply ask your friends. The shady one and the... Well, he wasn't covered in blood when I first met him, but I believe you said your name was Kane. Ask Kane.
Yeah, no, I'm really bad with names, and I already forgot yours.
Well, I'm sure it'll
You know
come
what?
to you as he walks out.
We just woke up.
Pat, it's not gonna come to me.
I'm aware.
I don't even think you actually
won't.
named him to
I
us.
did. He's the kind of guy that would give his name to people. Guess you'll have to go watch the record.
Kelly, you've listened
recording.
to this 4 times. How do you not know?
Well, I'm terrible with names.
It's all good. It's all good. When this episode airs on YouTube, hopefully some of the people will comment. Either I'm wrong and I didn't name him, which, by the way, don't tell me that. Keep that comment to yourself. Name him. I don't care. Even if I didn't name him, people in the comments, give him a name. I'll go with whatever was commented the most.
Let's call him Steve.
Right. You realize with our release schedule, this is gonna be weeks out.
Oh, I know. That's the thing, is the players are gonna suffer for so many weeks. All right. Well, yes, all of you guys walk to the office quarters. As you guys walk in to the office quarters, there is in the back of the quarters. Nobody else is here besides a few people walking in and out, doing paperwork and whatnot, just briefly. But the main staff that does the primary stuff is sleeping. The knight that woke you up and Kane and Gorez spoke to gestures to the back room. He'll be waiting in there. As I gotta go and finish up some scouting. Hopefully you can help out. As he leaves.
Scouting for what?
Well, before he leaves,
Just for...
at the door, he stops and goes, "The things that should have been burned."
What?
Well, that's not unthinkable.
That's
ominous as fuck.
That's rather unsettling.
I mean, just a little bit.
I suppose we should go in.
Yeah. Trevor's gonna go over and knock on the door.
Didn't he say we were gonna wait in here?
As the door is knocked, you hear, "It's open. Come in."
Trevor opens the door and he looks back at everyone. And he's like craning his neck towards the door, like, "All right, come on, let's go."
Okay. We'll follow.
As you walk in, it is a Spartan-like room, bare minimum. There is a wooden desk in the center, a basic wooden chair, the kingdom's banner to the side, a small fireplace. Not really anything else in here. Perhaps a chest in the back corner, but it's very, very bare in here. And there is a tall, blonde, well, I wouldn't say tall. He's actually like 5'11", so I guess like normal. Blonde gentleman. Short hair, very young, ocean blue eyes, but with a really nasty, a nasty wound that has scarred over. His left ear is completely gone. And it is like flesh was pulled from his face. Other than that, he'd be a very handsome gentleman, but he has been gravely very, very gravely hurt sometime in the past. "Oh, are you the adventurers that have been causing a bit of issues here and there?" Looking at Kane's blood. I can speak, people. I promise. Blood-covered clothes. Yes, yeah, you look to be the people. Well, do you have a group name or anything? Are you an adventuring party or just a bunch of random people from Grave?
Or rather nameless.
So you are a group then? Just don't have a name?
I mean, Sophia looks at them.
That's an accurate assessment, yes. So.
Okay. Look, I know Warwick. So I know kind of what happened in Grave. I know that you're not really from Grave. He told me to keep an eye on you and to possibly, if you did anything wrong, to report you to the Denza army. So,
could you define wrong?
I'd rather keep that a little bit to myself for a moment, but I'll let you know you haven't done anything wrong. That's why I'm still willing to talk to you, and the fact that we do need help. And I don't want to pass up this opportunity. As he cracks his knuckles. Look. The nearby town, a few years ago, about 5 to be exact, I think, fell to these creatures similar to Grave, except it was odd because there were strangers who showed up, similar to what happened to Grave when all of you showed up, which is why Warwick was suspicious of you. But sometime after these strangers arrived, the people started going missing until eventually all the missing people were found all at once in a very bloody and gruesome way, as the people that went missing decided to reveal themselves by harming those they loved and turning them into monstrosities, undead, fiends, and murderous abominations.
Well,
And
that's concerning.
Indeed. Rorich was there, and so was our commander, Colrend. He was also there. I was there, and several other of our men were there. Our leader sacrificed himself, along with Rorich, to let the rest of the survivors and his men, us, get out of Runeswick.
So how is Rorit still alive if he supposedly sacrificed himself along with your leader?
Trust me, I wish I would know, and I did ask him that. He said that it had nothing to do with me, and well, there's a lot of things that Rorich needs to answer for. First of all, why he is in Denza.
Is he not supposed to be?
Well, he was banished about 60 years ago. Why he was in Denza during the time of the fall of Runswick, and why he is here again, I would like to know that. But the man left before giving me any answers. Said he needed to speak to Colrent in Runswick. Colrent is dead.
Maybe he's not.
Maybe he's up and walking.
If he is, he pulls out a box. If he is, he's walking around, opens the box without his head.
Kitty.
As you see a head of a dried, decayed head in a box.
Look away from it.
Trevor just shakes his head. He goes, "I really fucking hate this place."
Look, this isn't normal. But when we attempted to burn the head, it didn't. The worst that happened to it was it dried out into this mummified form.
Sifina does not want to do this. But he's going to...
I would say there's a good chance that the body might still be walking around if the head couldn't be destroyed.
Yeah, I don't want to think of that, but it is a possibility, I guess. But I don't know what kind of corpse walks around without its head.
Oscar's gonna
spade that does
the head.
You're gonna do what, Oscar?
Examine the head, sniff it and.
Yeah, it's go ahead and give me. Depending on what you're looking for here, what is it that you're looking for?
He's kind of looking for any magic smell on it.
Gotta love it.
Sifina wants to investigate as well, either Arcana or Investigation. I'm not sure which we want you to do. Because she's trying, she's a grave cleric and she's trying to figure out about this death and so forth.
Okay. Oscar, could you repeat what you said? I had accidentally unplugged my headphones the moment you started speaking.
He wants to check it for the smell of magic.
Very well.
Arcana check?
Yes. And Sifina, you're looking for something that you're trying to figure out why it didn't burn, or
Yeah, I mean, it's still, she doesn't know. She's kind of casting into the darkness. If there's some kind of a sense of death that she might recognize or something like that, if that makes any sense, because of her familiarity with that.
okay.
So, what investigation or arcana or insight?
Give me an Arcana. This has to do with magical purposes.
Okay.
Oscar, what did you roll?
I rolled a 13.
13.
Oh, I was gonna say I wanted to make a roll too.
What are you looking into?
Seeing, because I mean, to Sif, it sounds like necrotic, necromancy stuff. So I guess Arcana to see if that is right.
Okay, go for it.
It was a.
It was a what?
16.
16. Okay. So, Oscar, there is some semblance of magic here, though faint. Hard to pick up on. And Sif, it's not. It is, but isn't at the same time. Like necromancy. It has semblance of necrotic energy, but it doesn't smell the same as some of the necromancy magic you've picked up on before. It's different. It's not ringing the same weave. And Sifina, the head seems to have this faint. You follow your. Oh, what's the best way I can do this? As you inspect the head, you can see a faint line, a faint thread, vanishing off into the distance, connected to the head. It seems to be getting a better look at the thread. Seems to be like a silver chain. As your mind hurts for a moment, the backs of your eyes sting as an image is forced to the front of your mind. The chains, these look similar to the chains of the scale. They feel like the same kind of magic as the chains of the scale. However, the side of the chain that this most connects with, is the side that is heavy. The side of death.
Sifina sighs, she steps back and she shakes her head. She's like, something's not right here. This isn't right. I don't think he's gone completely.
Well, that's a worry. Look, Rorich said he needed to ask Coleridge something. I don't know what, and I believe Coleridge, if he is alive, is not who he was. But if he is, those creatures have a very good leader, and that would explain a lot of why they are so organized.
Trevor's going to look at the commander and he's going to ask, how much do you actually trust Rorich?
Rorich is a good man. He's done some things in the past that has gotten him banned, but those things were were more of a villainous thing done to him. I uphold the law of Denza, and the law of Denza says he should not be here. And so I must uphold that, but I don't think Rorich is a bad person. He's done a lot of good and a lot of bad, but the bad was for a good reason.
Trevor's just gonna kind of nod, and he's
Would you
he's
trust him?
thinking some-
I don't know how to answer that, as he looks to Sif. Colrin trusted him, and I trust Colrin.
While everybody's sorry.
Go ahead, as you.
While everybody's talking, Oscar wants to like examine the head and learn its features. Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, it's very hard to get the features of this head because of how mummified it is.
Okay. Of course.
Full guidance over that.
What did you roll?
2, which
2.
is an 8.
Yeah, it is incredibly hard to deem any features from this, besides the fact that he at the time of the head severing, he had very long, probably a little bit past the shoulders, dark brown hair. That was about all that you could gauge from it. That he
All right.
had long brown hair.
So what exactly is it you're expecting us to do?
That's to the point. I respect that. I need you to find Rorich. Find out why he's back. Find out the selfish side of me wants you to find Colrin and put an end to, points to the head, this. But that is my duties as acting commander, sees that you hunt down Rorich and subdue him and bring him back. However,
And Trevor's gonna raise a hand, and he's just gonna wait for a second.
I asked you to come speak with me where most of my soldiers are not going to be, because I want you to find Colrint.
And Trevor's gonna nod, and he's gonna go 2 questions. First question: what if Rorich isn't alive, or what if he's somehow complicit in what is happening?
Well,
how do you want us to proceed?
If Rorich is the cause or any way tied to this situation in a negative way, I wouldn't be a bad thing if the executioners didn't need to be woken up.
Understood. Second question: you want us to find potentially what remains of your friend?
Yes, of our
former
commander.
Motions to the head. He goes, would you be terribly offended if I asked for you to let us take the head with us?
Do you know where he actually liked to hang out to? Any more about Colrin? Where he might want to go? Do he have family?
He did.
Maybe a favorite tavern?
He did have family. However, he didn't partake in those kind of things. He would go to taverns with us to look after us, but he wouldn't partake. Seeing how these creatures move and how they're operating, they're different than the ones in the wilderness. They're not just acting like puppets. they're acting closer to newly trained soldiers. So I'm guessing wherever the epicenter of that horrific town is where Colorin's going to be.
Well, it'd have to be big enough to hold an army.
It's a pretty big town.
I have a quick question. When we first arrived, your brother Ren asked us if we had been infected, as if that's a common thing that happens. Can you tell us what that is and what's done about it, if anything happens?
Well, what he's referring to is if any of those creatures have placed the disease in you. If you noticed how those creatures have like a vine-like structure, earthen substance to them. Well,
yes, it seems very good or earth.
I wish it was. I wish it was as easy as that, or I wish it was as easy as necromancy, because simple spells would be able to handle this. But it seems to be more than that. A disease that spreads without the need of magic.
Is there any way
Go
combat
ahead.
it?
Well,
Is
he
there any
looks
way
to
combat it?
he looks to Trevor. Well, you have a paladin on your hand. They can cure diseases, and I'm guessing you can as well. That'll be crucial.
That is correct.
Don't let them hit you.
Okay.
And if you
Only that.
Yes. Trust me, with a battalion of mostly martial fighters and not very many ranged combatants, it is very difficult to compete against them. It is a good thing we do have a good amount of paladins on our side as well, so cleansing the disease before it becomes too prevalent in your system is crucial. Get rid of it, or it will get rid of you. I've seen too many of my men turn and become an enemy right before our eyes. So.
And Trevor's going to kind of look around at the team and he's going to go, we are a little short on spellcasters and our archers are under-equipped. Do you happen to have any fire arrows, alchemist's fire, anything that you can give us that might improve our chances of getting in and out of this village alive?
So, the best I can provide you is some antidotes. These should be able to cure diseases.
Trevor kind of nods and he's like, it's better than nothing. We'll take whatever you can offer.
Now, I was expected to be healing more people, but you want me to go on this errand?
Yes, I appreciate your efforts very much.
But we're not finished.
I understand. But this does take priority.
Very well.
You can choose not to take this quest. This is an official quest and at the same time an unofficial quest. You will be compensated for completing this with gold and a recommendation to the night guards in the capital of Denza, in our grand city. This should allow you a bit more free movement, if that is what you wish.
And Trevor kind of leans over to her and he's like, plus, if we're able to cut the heart out of this infection, whatever it is, it might end up saving more lives in the long run.
Oh, there's much more going on than everybody thinks, so absolutely.
What has Denza been doing about this problem?
He gestures
The
to
capital.
himself. Well, they send people like us to the areas of the epicenter to fight it.
But the sickness never reached that far, has it?
Well, the issue is it's easy for a capital city to burn their dead. It's harder for out in the forests and the rural lands to ensure everybody and everything is burned. But to be fair and to be frank with you, I've never seen anybody in the capital, even unburned, get back up.
That seems a little odd.
Indeed. But I am out here. So that is a whole nother thing. And all I can do is solve the situation here and hopefully stop what's happening in Runswick. For if those things get more militarized, there's nothing we here at Fort Colrent could do. Or any.
How long ago did they start organizing like a military?
5 years ago.
Okay,
Not a character.
sorry. If that was...
That's when Colrent died. But they started to militarize about the time that we recovered this head and attempted to burn it. So about a year ago.
So
And it's been gradually getting more and more.
do you think there is not necessarily a causation but a correlation between that?
Yes.
You think it's possible that Colrent's up walking around and actually training these things?
Yes. I have not reported this to the capital. I fear that there might be, as you spoke, something not right going on in the capital. That's why this is
You think there's corruption higher up?
I think there's something, as this young lady, this cleric stated, something bigger going on, and I believe the capital knows something and is benefiting from it. It's not the first time that Denzo's had a corrupt leader. Ask Rorich about that, if you find him.
Trevor just kind of nods.
Ask him.
But,
yeah, I've got a lot of questions for him too, but...
How's 4,000 gold and a recommendation sound? The recommendation is going to give you more movement than you would as just a normal adventuring party. It'll show that you've done good work for
care about
us.
the gold, but the recommendation is worth just as much as the gold is, to be honest.
Well, I'm offering both. Note that a recommendation isn't something that any commanding officer or commander should ever give lightly, because if you do anything, it's my head that goes on the chopping block with yours. This is you earning my trust here. And I'm putting my life on the line if you can prove that you're trustworthy enough. Rorich did say that you
nods and he
jumped
says
into a fire to save them. So
Trevor nods
to be
and
fair,
he's
the field wasn't on fire at the time.
go ahead, Trevor. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Trevor nods his head and he looks at the commander and he goes, "On my oath, I will do everything in my power to locate both of these individuals." And he points at the head in the box and he goes, where did we land on bringing that with us? Because I feel like that might help us locate the rest of him.
He looks at it.
We might be able to put him to rest. Okay.
Yes, but if you fail, then it's back in their hands. And I feel like if it is in their hands, it would be bad for us.
To be fair, if we fail, there's a very good possibility it will end up in their
In their
hands
hands.
sooner or later, anyways.
Not to sell us out as that good, but
Yeah.
Very well. You can take the head with you.
Trevor's going to look at it one more time, and he's going to close the box, and he's going to pocket it away in his pack. He just kind of shakes his head and runs fingers through his hair, and he's not happy about the situation at all.
I have another question. Is there anything in the commander's past, anything you might know of him, that if by any chance we had to reach his humanity, is there anything that we could do or say that might give us a moment of that? Doubtful, but
He cared very much about honor, respect, justice, fairness. The reason why we work so hard here, which I'm sure you've noticed, is because he held it so highly. That's really the main aspects of his personality, was to do what was needed to be done, not what was told to be done.
thank you.
We will do everything in our power to find him and try to make this right.
I have a question. They react to fire pretty badly. We know that they won't get back up. You think the kitchen has any extra oil, pig grease, anything to spare?
We are
Alcohol?
short on supplies. Trust me, if we had alcohol, you'd have walked into a fort of drunkards. We have the dedication for it. Anyways, we might have a few bit of cooking oil that we could give you, but the best we could truly do for you is to give you a few vials of antidote to help with the disease that they spread.
That is better than nothing. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Very well. Well, I appreciate you taking this mission, but I also have to add, could you please leave immediately for this mission? I'd like my soldiers not to fully understand what's going on. If asked, you're being sent to find Rorich to bring him in. But I have already told I have already told Knight Brahm that you will be doing a special mission for me.
Wait, Brahm? Who's Brahm?
The one that brought you here.
Oh! Yeah, he never gave us his name.
That's odd.
Very
Normally
unknightly of him.
shouts that from the rooftops. Anyways, yes, he understands, and this is why he has his men placed up at the gates, so that they could let you out without asking questions.
I'm also assuming that Sana went after Warwick unofficially. I mean,
Yes.
unauthorized.
Well, she's not one of my people. So what she does is her choice. And I'm assuming, after the conversation me and her had, where I told her that he went into Runswick, at least that's where the last place I saw Colrent, she immediately left in a huff and most likely went there. But that was hours ago.
Hopefully she leaves a trail for us.
Would you want us to bring her back if possible, or just let her do her own thing?
She is
We save her.
not. She is not one of the priorities, but I'm not going to tell you to
Oh.
abandon her.
Very
I
well.
was going to say, if we do save her, this makes
Third time.
the third time, and she'd better be fucking grateful for it.
I know. Seems like the last 2 times she hasn't been all that grateful.
No.
I mean, she did
This is one-
apologize to me for not coming or running with me last time, but let's hope this time if I run up on her,
That's-
she will run.
That's more like apologizing for being stupid.
He shakes his head.
So I suppose we should leave then.
Trevor's going to stand up and he's going to salute the commander, and he's going to turn on his heels and he's going to walk out the door.
I love that.
Do you try to do their salute, or do you try to do your orders salute? Your paladin orders.
It's just basically a fist. It's just basically a fist over the chest. He's not doing his paladin order salute. He's not trying to mimic their salute. It's
Okay.
just
Okay.
Just some form of respect.
mhm.
Yeah. All right. As you guys head out into the night,
Did we have enough time to grab some oil flask and the antidotes?
you can ask some of the gate guards for that if you want to.
We want the antidote for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely want those.
Brahm is sitting in the front of the gate that would lead out to the road. It is dark and kind of raining just a little bit. So, did you take the quest to hunt down Rorich?
We did.
Winks a little bit. That
Yes.
is wonderful. Is there anything we can assist you with? Any supplies before you leave?
Antidotes, a couple of bottles of grease, and anything you or your men might be willing to part with that you think might be helpful to us.
Well, my men probably won't part with anything, but the grease and the antidotes we can get you. He shoos one of the guards to go get the stuff. So, I have heard that you have had a few run-ins with these things before. I want you to understand something, though. Those were what we call the wild dead. They're untamed creatures walking like puppets of a child. These things that you're going to go against in Runswick, they're closer to a militia. Slightly smarter and better than a bandit group. But they're getting stronger. And that's just
Are you
the
saying these things were
lowlies.
sentient?
It seems that they can become trained. I wouldn't say sentient. I've yet to hear
More
one
like
speak.
they're lapdogs.
Yes, almost as if there is some kind of hierarchy power system. I've seen some stronger ones control the weaker ones below them, but that would mean that there is something stronger than them controlling them, and so on and so on.
Well, this just gets more and more concerning.
Indeed.
I really was hoping this was going to be easy.
Well,
Oh,
Trevor just kind of scoffs and he goes, "We've been in absolute hell from the moment we got here. None of this was going to be easy."
Yeah.
Maybe the
What?
next one.
I thought all of you were from Grave.
That's what I'm saying.
So, from the moment you were born?
He's very deep.
Yeah.
He likes to read poetry a lot.
I see. Well, that could be why you believe everything to be hell. You need to have a broad chest and an iron will. Think things are nothing but a challenge to improve your iron, to hammer it into perfection. Then hell will be nothing but the furnace that tends to your blade.
So
And Trevor
looks
just
like
kind of
the dead
Trevor just
stare at him
looks
like
up
he's
at the fort and like everything that's been going on, and he just kind of nods and he goes, "Right."
Indeed.
It's just gives him, like, he tries not to roll his eyes while he says that and just.
You all will make great knights in the future, I believe. You just need to power through this infantile blade stage. He walks over and places a hand on Trevor. You, my dear friend, have two paths. Become a broken blade that never reforges, or become a great sword that cleaves through enemies, no matter how big.
Oh, believe me, I plan to do quite a bit of cleaving, friend.
Good. No more of this talk of hell. Only the fires that temper your blade. Ah, looks like my scout has returned with the ingredients that you've asked for. Here you go. 6 antidotes and 2 vials of grease.
Thaumaturgy just plays in the background the whole time he talks.
Just a patriotic musician. Oh, a flag waves in the distance as an eagle.
There you go.
Make Denza great again. All right. So, he'll nod to you. Open the gates. Let these young blades out. As
So I guess
the
we're
gates
walking.
open up.
Where's we should probably get the wagon unless
Oh.
Rorich took it with him.
I don't
No.
think that's our wagon.
Miss Sana took that. Left that young
that's
halfling boy here, Will, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he works in the
Well,
kitchens
and
now.
he's-
Good. That's a good thing.
At least he's
And
got a place
Trevor's
to
just gonna
stay.
kind of look out the gates, and he's just gonna kind of nod, and he's gonna head out.
Very well.
Like, well,
Yup. Trotting right along.
Okay.
which way are we going again?
Braun will
Towards
point.
the ruin.
Will point to the northwest, that direction. Follow the road.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Indeed. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. If you like the story so far, leave a like. And if you want to hear more, subscribe. Remember to always check for mimics underneath that bed of yours. We'll see you next time.